right, and we are back. We got so into the conversation, we almost got cut off. So we're gonna pick up. I do have another question for you all. So, what, in your opinion, makes your marriage a happy marriage?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it is probably the fact that we don't try to abide by any like social rules. We don't put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be a perfect couple.
Okay.
I love the fact that we're super open about the struggles that we have faced as a couple.
Okay.
And I think that that is what, like, that honesty with one another and other people is what keeps us grounded. And I think that's what makes us a happy couple. And then just the fact that we really enjoy one another.
Okay.
Like, we work together, we live together, and so we do try to give each other that space, but it's inevitable that we're kind of just always in each other's bubble, which is cause for tension sometimes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think that we just click.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get guys asking me all the time, what is? I'm like, bro, she one of the homies. Like, for
right.
real.
Come
like,
on.
At the end of the day, she one of the homies.
Yeah.
You can't get there with your spouse, man. You got
Come on.
You got to rethink some things.
I totally agree with
she
that.
be one of the homies.
Well, look, she throw hands like the homies,
For real.
right?
Yeah, she
Come
do.
on.
Hands like the homies,
Yes,
people.
you
I
do.
am not a fighter.
She's a thug. She's a thug.
I love it. I love it. So, what advice would you give a young couple? They're not married yet. They're thinking about marriage. What would be your advice to them?
I would say be open with one another.
Yeah.
And be accepting of the fact that this is a real person who had a life before you. And you can't be upset about the life before you. If they are choosing to be with you and be committed to you, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. And so my ultimate advice is just to be open and honest all the way around. With one another about what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you're looking for, what you do not like. And that sets a foundation. And then most importantly is spend time with God separately, of course, but with one another. I feel like if you are not founded on firm foundation, then it's not going to last no way.
Okay. Got you.
I would say pretty much everything she said. And if you feel uncomfortable finding this person out, rethink some things. It's one thing to be pressured under love, but it's one thing to be pressured under trying to figure out somebody else's love. If you don't get what I just said, you gotta love yourself first.
Yeah.
And then before you ever love this person and you commit to this person for life, you gotta know just about everything about them. Pretty much.
True. That's true.
I ain't saying I purposely found out what ticked her off, but you know what I'm saying, I've learned what ticks her off. You know what I'm saying? And not use that against her. It was one thing I love about her is she don't use a lot of things that I do or my past against me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what got a lot of people kicked to the side back in the day. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? I know who I was and what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to bring it up and throw that in my face.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, she's caring. So, and I know you see probably online and stuff now, marriage ain't 50-50 and 100, all this stuff.
I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think it's a thing. I don't think we should put numbers and caps on what you do for your spouse because y'all are one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it takes, when you are one, that means you're 100. Some days I'm 20% and he's 80.
Come on.
Some days.
See, y'all going into my next session.
Sorry.
No, you fine. You fine. Cause
it is a 50-50.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
I was definitely going to bring that up because, you know, that's the big thing now, that 50-50. So I was going to my question was going to be like, what is that to y'all? What does that mean to y'all?
I feel like it's another reason that we were able to click so fast is because we never really subscribed to that. There have been times where he was the sole breadwinner. There have been times when I was the sole breadwinner because life is not linear. Life is very up and down. There were times when I was super sick, I couldn't work at all. And so he had to carry the weight of everything. And he was doing all of the work and I was trying to help, but I couldn't. And there have been times where he was looking for a job and I had to do work. I don't feel like that is a thing. If you love this person, if you're committed to, now I'm not saying sit around with no bum,
Right.
let anybody physically or whatever way abuse you or anything like that. But if you are in a committed relationship with somebody and you know that they are trying, then sometimes you have to pick up that slack. And honestly, for me, like, especially in the area of parenting, and I know he gave me props earlier, but he does a lot with the kids. He makes life easy to be a mom for me.
Okay.
And so sometimes I be sitting around like, dang, I'm sitting here with my feet kicked up, and they in there calling his name.
Calling my name. Daddy.
But that just goes back to, I be in the bed like, golly, they been calling his name.
And I hop my round tail up and go get it.
And you did not move.
No. I'm not gonna move.
Enjoy it. You know.
But it just goes back to like when they were babies and I was doing all the breastfeeding and I, so it just goes in ways.
Okay.
Life, parenting, all of it. It goes in ways. I don't think 50-50 is a thing.
Okay.
To me personally.
Okay.
I don't think no number is a thing. Like, it's just, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do to keep each other healthy and happy.
Right.
And your family first.
Yeah. My brother sent me something. You remember the thing you sent me about the video when the lady was talking about the 50-50 and she was saying sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes it's 20-20, and sometimes, neither one of you have it. And so then what you got to do, what they did was they came to the table and figured out a way of getting through it. Yeah.
They
They assessed each other.
Yeah. So it's like, you don't all, like you said, you don't believe in the number thing anyway, period. But it's like, sometimes I don't have it. So like you said, there was times you worked, he didn't, or he worked and because you were sick, or, so you go in there, you carry the load,
for sure.
Me, I grew up where my mom didn't have to work, so to speak. She watched us. So it was 5 of us, 4 of us at the time.
And that's a job.
And is. And so my dad was military, so he worked, he didn't make my mom work. So I saw that, like you said, what else do I have to go on? This is what I saw. So that's in my head. I'm like, okay, well, you supposed to work.
Right.
I stay home, take care of the kids. I work if I want, I didn't have that luxury, so to speak, but anyway, so I look at it like my dad worked, my mom took care of home. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's kind of like gender roles.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it, because that's what I saw. So but it's to each his own. To each his own. So
I have a traditional mindset in some things, but I don't subscribe to gender roles in the way that it used to be.
Right.
Because I have dreams and goals and aspirations, and I don't want to give that up just because you think I'm supposed to stay home with the kids.
That's true.
And for some women, staying at home with the kids is the dream, is the goal. They
That's
love
right.
it, and
That's
more
right.
power to you. But it's not for me. Them kids drive me crazy. Go to daycare,
Please. Latoya's daycare.
Right.
Hey, TT.
Drop off.
Go with your daytime parents.
As early as possible.
As early as I can get you there.
That's not for me. I love my babies. Don't get me wrong, but I need space from them so that I can love them properly.
Hello. What time do you open, TT?
Okay.
All right.
In a little bit.
They'll be right.
And then
with bells on.
Like all of that. Like he washes dishes, I take out the trash.
Okay.
Like it just.
Now I draw the line there. I'm not taking out nobody's trash.
I used to be like that, but he got me one time.
I can't. I just cannot.
had to get on it, y'all.
He had to get on me one time because I used to see. I would sit stuff purple. Like I would be petty about it. Like just.
No,
sit
you didn't
stuff,
sit
like,
it on top.
On top of it. Like when you
mean,
gonna take out the
building
trash?
Balancing.
And he was like, "You can take out the trash."
I can't. Too delicate.
I was like,
Delicate
flower.
I had looked at it. I think it wasn't an argument. It was just like a bae. Like, I work all day. And I know you do too. But I don't come home to expect to have a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this is not my job to do it. Now, I'll get to it when I get to it if you want me to do it.
Okay.
But don't make me feel like it's my job because I had to go out there and work for a white man already. Sorry. I get tired. I get a little hyped up.
I see. Come on
no
back.
offense to white people.
Come on back.
But I just don't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just give me a little bit and I'll get to it.
I got
you. Know what I'm saying?
I got you.
That's like the manager at work that purposely puts something up under the trap so you can see, so you don't see it, so they can fire you. Not saying that's what she's
Yeah.
doing, but
I got you.
it's still in the same realm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just you know what I'm saying. I don't tell you need to go in there and do them dishes, girl.
No, he
How would you feel? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
Especially
I
in
would
that
like
voice.
You ain't washed them clothes today. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We like that at
You got a
all.
little bass in your voice.
You're right.
I'm down.
Right.
Nah.
So you know.
But no, he did. He was like, you can take out the trash. And then at first I was offended, but then I was like, you know what? I could take out the trash.
I mean, and it is true.
Yeah,
We
like,
definitely can.
He washed the dishes. He
Yeah.
bathed the children. He do all of the things too. And what I came to learn, this was when we were in an apartment at the time, taking out the trash was a walk. And then I get to be away from the children. And I get to have a moment to myself. And I get to like play on my phone and call my friends. Like,
you can
because
walk
the
as
trash
slow
can
as you want
down
to.
there. Yes. I started loving taking out the trash.
No,
I got it. Let me do
I got it. I love it. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, I want to get into Pretty Southern Catering. Now, when did that start?
Ooh.
Yeah, when did that start? And then how did that affect the marriage, the relationship?
I think I'm gonna answer the second part first. I think our business helped our marriage.
Oh, okay.
Because we were both going to work and coming home depleted.
Okay.
And when you come home depleted, you're angry, you're anxious, you don't feel like being bothered. It was just a lot of, we gotta do this again tomorrow. Like, and then on top of that, not to say like that we're balling out of control or anything, but on top of that, in 2 weeks we get this paycheck and the money is already accounted for, and we're making in 2 weeks what we can make in a event.
Got you.
I think that it helped us. But going back, we originally started our business in November of 2019, right before COVID.
Oh, okay.
Out of me wanting to start a business because I had been in the hospitality industry for so long. I knew a lot about it.
Okay.
And him just saying, I support you.
Okay.
But I think it turned into a passion for him as well.
Okay.
But COVID hit, and that was a dud. Nothing happened in 2020 at all. And then in 2020, at the end of 2020, I found out I was pregnant again. And then I had my baby in May of 2021. And then I was out for 3 months with my son. And then August came, and it was time for me to go back to work. And I was like trying to pull out my clothes for the day that Sunday night. And I looked at him with tears in my eyes, and I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I cannot go back to this people job. I said, I don't know if I need to find something else, or do you want to like jump into this and see if this is something that we can do? And at the time, I think God was saying like, this is your go, because we had got approved for Section 8.
Come on.
And I think that was his way of saying, now that you don't have this huge expense that you have to worry about, use these funds, use this time to start your business and to go.
Cool.
And so for me, that was our starting story. I don't know if it's different for you.
It's different for me.
Okay.
We all got our own story.
Come on, story.
Nah, it's pretty much similar, but I was working at the hospital, going in every day, going on somebody else's clock, working. 2 weeks later, check gone, couldn't build. And I heard this saying from a guy. He said, generational wealth is not financial, it's spiritual. And I was like, so I dug into it and whatnot. And I was driving, I love that little car. I was driving my little car, y'all, a little black Ford Fusion. I was clean, kids couldn't eat in it.
They can eat a mine though.
They eat her. Couldn't eat mine. And I went in a head-on collision with a motorcycle.
Oh, wow.
Through the guy, he got up, walked away. Nothing hurt or anything. I mean, the people was out there recording me and everything. Like I just did something wrong. I'm gonna give my side of the story. A little Charger was in front of me. He went to pull up, and I tried to go. Like he pulled up and stopped at a turn. And so me pulling up too, I was about to go because I'm like, why you stop?
Yeah.
He pulled back and the motorcycle hit me.
Oh,
so,
wow.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was my fault either way, however it went. Is what they said. But
oh my God.
But he, you know, after that, I don't. What happened? Something.
You were out of work.
I was out of work for
because of your
a
back.
minute because of my back.
Okay.
And then I went back and I had tweaked something, and they took forever. Yeah, they wrote me out again, and it took forever for them to get me to come back. And
Okay.
Business starting.
Yeah.
So y'all finna get left behind.
I know
It was
that's
about
right.
September when they actually had tried to let me back.
Okay.
Back
Oh,
home.
okay. Okay.
And we was already full running and stuff like that. Like she
Yeah.
said, plate sales and stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
And I want to add I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, you good.
Okay.
You good.
I want to add a disclaimer that we have nothing against a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 pays the bills. There have been time in this journey where we've had to go back to work
Okay.
to supplement. And I also want to add that starting a business and building a business is hard.
Yeah.
We have faced eviction. We have lost cars.
Yeah.
Just in full transparency and honest transparent. Did I say that right?
Transparency.
Okay. And honesty. It's not like you start a business and life is great.
Right. See, that's me. I'm thinking any entrepreneur
No.
that you are balling out.
No.
I just had this conversation with my boss because she owns the salon I work at, and that's what I told her. I was like, until we had meetings and she would bring out what has to go out,
Yes.
which means I have to make this in order for this to get done.
Right.
I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's difficult.
okay. And then even being with the cookies,
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
This is a lot.
It's hard, and you don't have that backing that the big businesses have. You
Exactly.
don't have the access to loans and all of the things that they have and generational wealth that they have.
Yeah.
And I can't go to my mom and say, "Hey, Mom,
Give me $9,000.
give me $50,000."
Yeah.
I don't have that because there
Yeah.
were times when we first started and people would be like, "You can just go to your parents and ask them for a loan."
Oh, really?
I'm like, "What parents?"
Well,
Neither one, neither set.
Crazy. They'll hand me $25 and be like, "Good luck." Like,
Wow. Jesus. It's
And
good
then,
luck with that
and then
25.
and then you got to look at like backgrounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We wasn't really taught how to
Yeah.
handle
That's
and manage.
right.
So
That's right.
credit wasn't all that good
Yeah,
neither. So it was
yeah.
like we can't just walk in and say we want a loan.
That's right.
And
That's
then on
right.
top of that,
Yeah.
being a small business, you have to prove yourself.
You have to prove
You have
yourself.
to prove yourself, and you have to stay consistent, and you have to deal with the knockbacks. And so, with big businesses, when things happen and people are not pleased, they have these people
This
in this
net.
oversight, and they can do and cover up and pay. We don't have that. So when somebody be mad at us and they go out and put a review or they
Yeah.
charge back on their card, like that affects us.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just feel like it's God ordained, and so we just keep pushing.
Yeah.
And that's what they say. Blessings look good on you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you bless it, you look good, but hey, inside,
That inside.
it's a
yeah.
storm.
So
Indeed.
speaking of that, when you were saying y'all faced, losing cars, evictions. So this is the beginning. So how? Oh.
No, I'm not saying this right now.
No,
now,
right.
but
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can have your months where you go 2, 3. You
Okay.
ain't got but 1, maybe 2 events, and you trying to push these plate sales, but people think you just doing so good. They don't want to buy your
Okay,
food. Buy my food.
gotcha.
They won't buy your food because they think they see you put something pretty online
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. No, they out there doing good. I'm gonna support the other person. Don't get me wrong. And that's one thing about
Right.
us. We support everybody around us, but it gets hard. It still
Okay.
get hard.
Okay.
So you got to find the ways to get yourself out there and
Gotcha.
do things like that.
Okay.
It's not, and then people see you and think you're trying to be greedy because you're posting and
Right,
you're doing
right,
this and
right,
you're doing
right.
that. And it's,
I'm trying to get to my
I'm trying to
breakthrough.
get to,
Come
I'm
on.
trying to get to my $50,000 contract
Ooh.
every other 2 weeks. You
Come
know what I'm
on.
saying? Like,
I know that's right.
you
Go
know,
on and put it
you know,
out
put it
there.
out there.
Amen.
But you can't. Don't get me, because you'll see people, and that's another thing. You have to get at peace in your spirit with the way people operate, because not everybody is saved. A lot of people is of the world, so it's hard to see auntie or best friend sharing other people's things, and it's like, bro, you ain't never shared mine.
Come on.
You ain't never even tried to even come through and pull up and help me out.
But I
You know?
think that with that, as far as our marriage is concerned, that was where we were kind of yin and yang, because
Okay.
especially in the beginning, he would get like super like in his feelings, like they ain't supporting us, and I'm like, you can't worry about that. Like,
It's hard though.
it is hard,
It's very
but you
hard.
have to get to a place where you know that this is for you,
Yeah.
and you know that God is going to bless your business regardless.
Yeah.
And so you cannot let people who you feel like should be supporting you and they aren't, you can't let that get to you.
Okay.
Because just because you think that they should be supporting you doesn't mean that they have to. There are probably people in our lives who are doing things and they think we could be more supportive. And it might not even be personal. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So you
right.
can't let that get I'm not even gonna let that filtrate my spirit because that's how the enemy works.
Yeah.
So don't share it. There are people who are sharing it.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm worried about the people who are, not the people who aren't.
Okay.
So
how long was it for you before you got out of that? Like,
it probably took me up until maybe a year ago.
What?
If that, I mean, probably a little bit less than that. Not even, not. It's because you know what I'm saying. It's not just letting it out. It's also bottling it in. Like, dang, you know what I'm saying. That right there builds up to where then when that person come around or them people come around, you just kind of like,
yeah.
But now it's just like, okay, hey y'all, what's up? Hey y'all, you know what I'm saying. So, but
still love y'all.
Yeah, still love you. Yeah. But nah, it took me a good little minute, like because I'm just that kind of person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. That's how I was raised and taught. Like, hold that grudge.
Yeah.
Right.
Hold that grudge, bro. Like, what's up, my little baby Taj? That joker can hold a grudge. You hear me? And that's all I see. I was like, I used to be like that.
Oh my God. How old is that baby?
Baby 2 years
Ooh,
old.
and already holding grudges.
Holding grudge since he was like 5 months.
No.
Ooh.
Honey, the next day he's still looking at you
Still
sideways.
looking at you sideways.
Like,
Won't mess with you. Won't.
Oh my
He
God.
won't mess with you at all. So, but but that's how you know I am. But I was. But like prayer and just read my word and getting things lined up right and stuff like that. I begin to see, and then like she said, you never know who's struggling or what they got going on. Might not be on Facebook every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you can't let that social media.
Because it will.
It's not
Yeah,
real
it will.
no way.
It'll tear your spirit up.
That's another thing I
will.
thought about too. It's like how did Auntie and them get their restaurant back in the day? They ain't had no social
Sure
media.
didn't.
So you know what I'm saying? let me go out here and perfect my craft.
Okay.
So I can.
I got you. Okay, so we're going to use these last few minutes for y'all to plug Pretty Southern and let us know where we can find you, upcoming events.
Okay. So Pretty Southern Catering, you can find us on all our social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I think that's it. At Pretty Southern Catering. Our office is located at 8017 North Point Boulevard, which is also the SEG Center, where they have events and where they're in-house caterer.
Okay.
Let's see. Right now we are in a competition called Favorite Chef with Carla Hall. If you would like to vote for us, please, because it's a votes-based competition, please go to our pages. You can find the link there. DM us. I'll send you the link. Text me. Whatever you got to do, I will get that link to you. And every week we advance in the competition until there's the last person standing, and get some great prizes. So if you would vote for us, we would really appreciate it.
Vote every day.
Yes, and guys, they are number one in their group.
We are.
So number one.
Appreciate everybody that's been voting
Yes.
for real.
All right.
In Jesus' name.
Yes.
Also, we got Pretty Southern Barbecue Grill on
I'm
Instagram. Should be forgetting about
I'm so
the
sorry.
barbecue part.
She left it for you to tell.
Yeah, she left it for me to
Yeah.
tell. But I love grilling. We love outdoor cooking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Ultimate goal, catering. Honestly, I'm learning as we go along that I desire more than just to cater. So the ultimate goal for for the catering service is to grow into 2 separate restaurants. We want to do Pretty Southern Upscale and then Pretty Southern Barbecue Grill. And so that's the goal.
That
you
is
give me
so
10
dope.
years.
Come on.
And I'm gonna make it happen. Probably
All
before.
right. Probably before. All right. I just want to plug the mac and collard soul rolls.
It's a favorite.
I just want to plug them. They are absolutely awesome.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And while we still have a little bit of time, I would like to thank you for always being super supportive.
Yes.
Like, you've been supporting us from the beginning.
Y'all, my
Yes.
girl.
She is very supportive.
Yes.
Love her.
Yes.
Yes,
I appreciate y'all.
She's been purchasing from us and buying from us and
Yes,
sharing
ma'am.
our stuff. I can always depend on Phaedra to
I
share.
will share. 6:46 every morning, guys.
She's
I'm
voting
upvoting.
every morning.
I am
Voting.
upvoting. Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes,
so I
ma'am.
just really want to publicly
Well, you know what? I appreciate that, and I'm going to continue to support.
Thank you so
I
much.
really
We are
appreciate it. Yes,
I got you
thank
when
you. Thank
we
you.
open that building.
Come
up.
on.
Just know you fed.
Come on.
Okay.
God, dog it.
I'm
There
here
are a
for
few
it.
people.
I am here for it.
Yes.
All right, so we got one more episode. Y'all willing?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. We'll be back. So this is so good, y'all. Thank y'all. I knew I was gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah. Even TT this morning was like, "Oh, y'all finna cut up."
I'm trying to get TT